everyone, welcome back to Tell Me More. My name is Deshawna Grimsley, and today I have my Roly, my bestie, my girl, Keirsten. So Keirsten is a really, really close friend of mine. We met back in Hampton.
Yes, girl.
What, like sophomore year, junior year? Keirsten lives out here in DC. She currently works for Frito-Lay. She is a district sales manager.
Yes.
And she is a CEO of her own company, an interior design company, Decored by Keirsten.
Yes.
And last but not least, she of course graduated from Hampton University with her bachelor's, and also graduated from Strayer with her master's, MBA with a focus in marketing. So a quick little overview. Tell Me More is a talk show where I bring in amazing people to sit down and talk with me and just talk about different aspects of life so we can just figure out how to balance work and life all together.
Right.
So at the end of the show, I hope that you walk away with different tips and understanding for how you can balance your life. So today, we're actually going to be talking about going to work and going to school.
Ooh, child.
I just want to get the basics out because I really like the audience to know who you are, get to know like what you do, so you can get your, spotlight, because you definitely deserve it. How did you get into your position? How did you get into Frito-Lay?
Okay, so at Hampton, we're required to go to the career fair, and of course, every single year. So our big company for Hampton is PepsiCo. Mm-hmm. And so they're there every semester at the career fair. I built up the relationship from freshman year to my junior year. I got an internship my junior year, and I interned twice. I interned before my senior year, and I interned again before I started grad school, and I came on full-time 2 years ago.
Since you've been into your job, can you give us an example of what a day would feel like as a district sales manager at Frito-Lay?
It usually starts with, I have about 16 employees that report to me directly. A typical day with Frito-Lay, non-push week, is basically getting up, discussing the sales plan with my team for the week, making sure they have a clear understanding on what promotions are out there, what to look for, what to expect during the week, making sure they have information, making sure they're being safe. So push week, there are usually about 4 or 5 a year. Super Bowl week, Memorial Day week, Labor Day, and 4th of July are our biggest push weeks. And then you have another semi-push week at the end of, after Christmas leading into the new year. That's our highest volume for the entire year. So, for example, I have a Walmart that runs $15,000 in Frito-Lay chips on a regular week.
Boom! What?
On a regular week, right?
I do go to a store a lot.
Yes. Walmart's great. They're making money for us, okay? On a push week, that $15,000 might be double. They might be running $30,000 that week. They might be running $20,000 that week.
Because everybody's buying chips for parties, and gatherings.
Whatever it may be, we just have a big push during that time. So literally we're all running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to make sure every store stays full with chips. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, right? Because everybody's like, oh, Frito-Lay, like, how could it really be so hard? But you have to understand the science it takes to get one chip to a shelf. I mean,
I believe
it takes so much.
But it's so cool that you're actually supplying people what they need. Like, you know that when you go into the store, you can look at all those chips and know, wow, my people did well. They made sure everybody had what they needed to have. And you're the manager of that. That's so dope. Black girl magic. So, okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes, because we are talking about how you juggle school and all of that. And now some of these questions I received from different viewers. So thank you so much for tuning in and giving me your questions. So the first question is, why was it important for you to go back to school? Like, what made that decision for you?
I had an example to look up to my parents, because both of my parents have master's degrees. Mm-hmm. And to me, essentially, I wanted to be like them. But in a very, very short sense as well, I knew that I don't like school that much. So when people like me who don't like school that much, and I know I have a goal, my mindset was basically just do it all in one quick sweep. Mm-hmm. So be able to keep going to the point where I reach my goal, and that if other things come later, I can get those achievements later. But to say that I have that higher level education, to be able to have that knowledge right out the gate, is what I wanted, so that I could hopefully climb the corporate ladder quicker.
I guess the next question is, what did you get your degree in and why?
Okay, so I have my bachelor's degree in business administration, just like Deshawna. But with my master's, I knew that marketing was more of like what I was really interested in and what I really wanted to focus on.
Yeah.
And so with my master's degree, I got an MBA with a concentration in marketing. I realized that was my niche through my internship. So honestly, it was really one of those things that I wanted to know more about, because I knew a basic knowledge, or I know, like the general things, but really going to school and getting that concentration, I really learned so much more about marketing, the analytics side of it, and everything that kind of goes into it on a day-to-day basis. Which
is really important. I think it's very important for people to look at what they see themselves doing in the future before they actually go back and spend all that money on a degree or second degree, because you want to know that you're investing your time in something that you're going to love. So I really encourage people, if you are looking to go back to get a degree, think about what your 5-year plan is. You might not be 18 years old, and that is fine. Let's start today. Let's start here and make your 5-year plan.
Age for sure.
It really doesn't. And the thing is, I feel like a lot of times we beat ourselves up because you want to go back in the past, and I understand. I think that's a natural instinct as a human, but I also believe in giving yourself grace.
Definitely. And honestly, when it comes to pursuing any degree, whether it's bachelor's degree, whether it's associates, whether it's a trade school, whether it's a master's or a doctorate, honestly, start with your purpose first.
Yes.
Because you're going to spend all this money on school, and even in pursuits to go into a career after school, you have to make sure that you love it. You have to make sure that it is what, not to get too holy, but make sure that God is what God wanted for you. And everyone can tell you, oh, you're great at math and science, you should be an engineer. Well, Sally and Jack can't be great at engineering, There's going to be somebody that's going to love engineering, and there's going to be somebody that's going to hate it.
And I know for me, I said accounting earlier because I actually thought I wanted to be an accountant. You remember?
I remember.
I did multiple internships at this accounting firm that will not be mentioned.
I thought she was crazy, y'all.
And I would walk around telling people, I want this degree in accounting, and I would explain to them what I want. I was like, I want to go and help people, and I want to consult them and all these different things. And they kept looking at me like, Deshawna, that's not accounting. And I was like, yes, it is. It's auditing. What? This is auditing. And it turns out that, I didn't want to do accounting. The next question is, what helped you juggle your schoolwork and performing well at work? Because, I was with you last summer, honey. And we did enjoy ourselves, but I do know that you would come home, she would be at her desk studying, focused, and, I really love that determination that she had. So how did you juggle work life and your school?
Honestly, for lack of better words, time management was really the biggest thing. Okay, so I wrote down my assignments, what assignment was due each week. If I had a paper due in 2 weeks, I wrote that down. Or if I had just an assignment just to be done that would not take me as much time, what had be done within the week, I wrote it down all in my planner. But I wrote it alongside my work schedule. And what's crazy is when I actually was getting my master's, I was starting my job. So in order to be a manager to my team, I essentially had to do their job. So I got training on a route truck, and I had to run my own route for 3 months.
So you had to deliver the chips to different stores?
Yes, so I had to deliver chips to stores. When I tell you, I'm literally starting every day at 4:30 a.m. And I'm working long hours. 4:30, y'all.
Baby, I can't even get up for my 9 o'clock. You talking about 4:30.
I understood that I had certain off days. So if I was off on Sunday and Wednesday, I would make sure I set aside my time. I would make sure I would go on my discussion board, and I would reply to my classmates and whatever they posted on the days that I was working. Because clearly, by the time I get home at 6:30 and I eat dinner, it's time to go to sleep and get back up and do it all over again at 4:30. So I'm not going to take the time. I might do a little bit of assignment, but I would pace myself in a way that I would do a little bit each day. And that the days I had off, whether it was Wednesday, whether it was the weekend, I would really utilize those days to kind of hone in on my work. Yeah. And I would understand, I would already have it written out in my planner, what I needed to do for the week. And then I would basically task myself according to highest importance, lowest importance, what would take me the longest, what would not take me as long. So I kind of planned it out that way so I could time manage myself, because it's so important, because it's really easy to get lost.
Yes.
When you're working and you have a schedule and you have so many different conflicting priorities, it's really hard to narrow it down.
I understand that. So time management, I will say 100% is so right. Because, and I think one thing that you said was your planner. And I hope y'all heard that. That planner is really what...
It's gold, honey.
It sounds like that's what kept you on the right and narrow, because you might go out on the weekend and then you come back on Monday and it's like, what do I have to focus on? Right. You open up that planner, you know exactly what to do. I am just amazed that you was able to do all that.
Yeah, a really big part of being able to get through school is your community. Yeah. This girl would come over. This girl would come over with her sticky notes, y'all. She loves a sticky note. She come up with her sticky notes and write motivational things and stick them all over my house. I mean, they're still up to this day, because you need those people in your corner.
The next question is, if you can go back in time, what would you tell yourself? And what would you do differently, if you would do anything differently?
I would tell myself to be patient and trust the process. I feel like with my MBA, I was in such a rush. Yeah. And like I told y'all, you know, there are some people out there that really love school and they really love learning. And I believe that learning is a ever-evolving thing. It's not something that stops with school, for sure.
It doesn't.
But there are just some people that just really like school. They really like to study. I was not one of those people. So because I wasn't one of those people, I was in such a rush. I was trying to put my 1.5 year program into a year. I definitely took the maximum course load every semester, every quarter. I definitely tried to rush that process versus trying to take it for everything that it was. Because there's not really a time where you have access to all this information. You'll have access to these teachers. You have access to your classmates, your resources. So really take that time to really hone in on that information and really be patient with yourself. If it doesn't all come right away, just be patient, because it's gonna get there. Our best friend Brianna, also from school,
Brianna.
There was something she always said that always stuck with me. It doesn't matter about when you finish, it just matters that you do.
Come on now.
So it's one of those things that we don't have to be in a rush, guys. Yeah. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to our goals, and we're gonna be all the great things that we have set in our life. We just have to have patience, understand that it's a process to get there.
So the last one is, if you can give 3 tips for people who are currently going to school. It could be like people who are currently in school and working, or people who want to, you know, dip their toe in. But if you can give them 3 tips, what would it be?
1, research. So take the time to really research on what program will fit your work schedule best, and also what program speaks to you, what matches your needs, what will align with your goals, present and future. 2 would be, what was my second one? Trust in the process. Thank you. So trust in the process. And like I said before, understanding that patience kind of falls into that, keeping the faith falls into that, being able to trust that the end goal is not that far away. Lastly would be do what you love. If this degree is your ticket out to what you don't love, to step into a career that you love, I mean, give it everything that you have. Yeah. Because if that means that you wake up in happiness, that is what matters most.
Thank you so much for coming to visit us, Keirsten.
Thank you for having me.
An honor. I really want to bring you back to talk about your interior design. Thank you guys so much for tuning in one more time. As usual, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and let me know if you have any topics that you would like me to dive into or give you tips about, because I'm always looking for suggestions. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day. Be blessed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Okay. Bye.
See y'all later.